Democrats, it is Wednesday, July 13th, and it's time for the Chair's Daily Life. Happy Wednesday. So yesterday I went off of the beaten path a little bit and got in the weeds with the Tulsa Public Schools school board debacle, I guess is the only word I can say. I am grateful for school board president Stacy Woolley and school board member Janetti Marshall for agreeing to come on and give us a little bit of light about what's going on. And thanks to that, some crazy right-wing folks in Tulsa are now trolling me. Y'all have fun. I don't have time for it. But it is my role to make sure that I illuminate things that are happening politically, and remind you guys, school board members are elected officials. And what that means is they're going to get, whoever gets the most votes gets there. Nolan Ranza, the president of Stonewall, posted a couple of the school board members' numbers of how they got in. One person in their race, 1,028 people showed up to vote on both sides. Total, 1,028. Folks, these positions affect your daily life, whether you have kids in the school system or not. Show up every time the precinct is open. So I'm going to get back focused today and talk about, I've been highlighting candidates who are running in regions not in greater Oklahoma City or greater Tulsa, because we have representation there. There's still some seats that we need to go get, but we have representation in Oklahoma City, and we have representation in Tulsa. And the only way we're going to grow our party is to expand past Oklahoma City, Tulsa, and Norman. We've got to get out and cover the entire state. We have to remind people that our values actually speak to the values of rural Oklahoma. We actually care about what's happening in Oklahoma. I watched the Republican second congressional race debate, and all they wanted to talk about was Mexico. We need to focus on what is happening in Oklahoma. And so what we have to do is expand our map. And so I've been highlighting this week, and I'm going to continue to highlight this week, candidates that aren't running in either Oklahoma City or Tulsa. We have to cover the entire state, and everybody needs to vote. So to that end, I've invited Jim Haley, who's running in Congressional District 2 for House District 13. So join me in welcoming Jimmy Haley. Hi, Jimmy.
Hi, Alicia. Nice to see you.
Thank you so very much for joining me and giving folks an opportunity to learn about who you are.
Thank you.
So I said Congressional District 2 because in my mind, you're kind of Muskogee-esque. But can you tell people where your boundaries are specifically?
Yeah, I live in Muskogee, just south of Muskogee. The boundaries for CD13 to the north is Haskell, and a little bit to the east of that, OK. I go so sort of the 2 points north is Haskell and OK, and then down the west side of Muskogee, all the way to the northern 3 precincts of Shakota in McIntosh County. So I've got a touch of Wagner County in OK, a touch of McIntosh County down in Shakota, and then a good chunk of Muskogee County.
Okay. Thank you for that. I didn't realize that you were all the way up into Wagner County. Okay.
Right.
Muskogee used to be a Democratic stronghold, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it did.
When did that change?
Around 2011, when the first round of redistricting kicked in. Excuse me.
Okay. So how did you come to run?
A little bit of 2011. Senator Jim Wilson, back at the time, had highlighted the craziness that was going on in the redistricting effort. And that got my interest. And I followed that through the teens up until obviously this year's election. And come to find out there were multiple people running on the Republican side, and we had no one running on the Democratic side. And a young lady named Alicia Andrews gave me a call, wondered if I would be interested in getting in the game. And I certainly wanted to get in the game because we need to compete for these seats. I'll go back to my gerrymandering issues that I think you're aware I've followed for a few years now. And in a discussion with Mr. Shannon at one of the summary meetings, he indicated that if I wanted change, we need to put more Democrats in seats. Well, I'm looking to put this Democrat rear in one of those seats.
Thank you for that. And so for the folks who are watching, I get tons and tons of helpful emails. Some of them nice, some of them not so nice. And Jimmy was one of those who just kept sending me emails. Here's the messaging that you need to deal with our area. Here's what you need to see. Are you aware that this is going on? And what I always do when someone has that much to say is I say that person needs to run because they have real ideas for Oklahoma. And so Jimmy was kind of on the radar to follow up and run. And so I want to thank you for heeding the call.
You're welcome. Well, I think part of it is educating Oklahomans. They need to understand what's going on, and they don't know. They don't know what's going on. And we have been fully gerrymandered since 2011. So it's going to be hard to win, but not impossible if we show up and we vote. So if I don't do anything this term, we're going to educate people as to what the game is and how we can win and make this state a little more purplish, if not a little blue in certain areas.
And so let's just talk a little bit about redistricting.
Okay.
Let's talk a little bit about redistricting, because I think it's important for people to understand that in 2011, when they had an opportunity to draw the maps, they drew the maps to ensure Republican domination.
Yep.
Is that how you see it?
Oh, absolutely. You can, Markwayne Mullin, he doesn't debate anymore. He doesn't need to debate. He's taken care of. His district is just fine with them. That started back after 2011. So, folks, it's alive and well, and it's working just fine for them.
Well, I will tell you that I was a little naive because I felt like they gerrymandered it pretty good in 2011, and I couldn't imagine that they could make the maps any worse.
Oh, they're tweaking it. Yep.
And
they got the software.
They did. They said, oh, no, there's some places where it might look like a Democrat has a little bit of a, Kendra popped up in Congressional District 5.
Uh-huh.
Yep. And they're like, oh, no, that's too close. We have to make it harder.
Yeah. So Southwest Oklahoma City is now in the Oklahoma Panhandle. Yeah, that makes sense to me. Yep.
Well, it does when you know what the motive is, when you know what their desired outcome is. And so what it's going to take for us to change that is that we have to register more voters.
Yep.
We have to get out there and get the message out that there are Democrats in Muskogee still.
Yep. Quite a few of us, actually. Yeah, you'd be surprised. I'm getting some great comments. People are just excited to have a Democrat running. So if we run and we stick together, and most importantly, if we vote, we can get back in the game, and we will get back in the game because people are listening to us. They need actual adult leadership that they're not getting from the other side today. So
the reality is everybody says you have to give people a reason to vote. You have to, people will stay home if they don't think there's a reason to vote. And the hopelessness of, it's just, there's not going to be a Democrat on the ballot or Markwayne Mullin is taken care of makes people stay at home. But we have a Jimmy Haley on the ballot, which is a reason for Democrats in Muskogee and Oak and Haskell and McIntosh County, a little bit of McIntosh County.
A little bit of McIntosh, yep.
To come out. They have representation that they can vote for on the ballot. It's not just going to be a Republican ballot. You will be on the ballot, and Naomi will be on the ballot, and we'll have two people running for Senate in our statewide. There is a reason to show up and vote. But if we don't, it makes it easier for them just to dominate, right?
Yes, and dominate is a key word because they are. They have absolute majorities, and at this point, they're not listening to us. We get more butts in seats, as Mr. Shannon indicated. They'll have to listen a little more. So I'm looking to make them have to listen a little more.
Well, so tell us a couple of things that Jimmy Haley stands for. Well,
truth, honesty, integrity, and most importantly, common sense. You'd have to have your head buried to not see what's happening in this state and multiple red states around us. I mean, literally, the Republican Party is taking us back 50 plus years in some of the things that they're doing. I think we ought to go forward, folks. There's a great future ahead of us. We just need to get there, and we're not going to get there with the current Republican leadership that we have. We need some common sense and just some good rural American values to take us forward. And so I think I represent that.
I think you do too. Otherwise, I would not have begged you and sent you all the texts asking asking you to run. And this is what I'm talking about. Giving folks a reason to vote. Jimmy Haley is a reason to vote. It is a reason not to stay at home and throw your hands up and think that it's not going to happen. It happens when there is a Democrat on the ballot and when Democrats show up.
That's right. That's right.
So if someone wants to volunteer for your campaign,
yes.
How do they reach you? Through their Facebook, through email? How do they reach you?
Yeah, I currently have a Facebook account out there, Jim Haley for House District HD13, or a Gmail account of hd13haley@gmail.com. Just drop me a line, and we will certainly get in touch with you.
Because we got to get the word out that you're out there.
Oh yeah, that's right. And the women of this district in Oklahoma, you need me. You need me in a big way. So you need me a lot more than I need this job. But I'm here for women. What's being done to women by the Republican Party is virtually a sin to me. And we need to, again, put some common sense back in the House and the Senate, both at the state and the national level, to bring back some sanity into what's going on around this nation and this state.
We need a voice like yours, right? Because they are counting on liberal people who look like me at the Capitol, with my progressive ideas that they can just shut down. They need someone who's been around the block, who knows what they're talking about, to say, stop it.
Yep, they do.
They do.
They certainly do.
Now, if someone wanted to donate to you,
yes,
you are taking donations?
Oh, I need donations. Unlike my counterparts on the other side, I don't have the dark money or the corporations jumping in. It's you folks that are helping carry this campaign forward. So I do have an ActBlue account that I see on the screen there. If you can just do either the link or search for Jim Haley for HD13, you'll see the link to my ActBlue account. You can help me out in that regard, and that would be much appreciated. I also have a post office box 84 in Muskogee at 74402 as a way where you can mail contributions to my campaign. Would be helpful as well, or just email hd13haley@gmail.com, and I'll let you know how to get to me or get money to me. I would appreciate it.
All righty, Jimmy, thank you so very much for joining me today and giving folks just a glimpse into, who we're running in rural Oklahoma. And, it's not some, you're not a dino.
No, I'm not. The contrast is stark. If you compare where we're wanting to move our district forward to where the Republicans want to move it, it's very obvious. If you like the way things are going, well, you're right where you need to be, because it's going that way. If you want to,
they like the way things are going, they're not watching me.
Yeah. This is the only way you're going to get change, is coming down this lane. So look at your candidates, evaluate them. You vote for who you think will be best for you and for your family in Oklahoma and the nation. And I think by far, I'd put my money with the Democrats. I'd put my money with the Democrats.
Well, you put your name on the ballot, and so that tells a lot about who you are.
Thank you.
All right, thank you, Jimmy. Thanks for joining.
You're welcome. Thank you. Thanks, Alicia.
So here's the thing. I wanted to bring Jimmy on, just like I had Jennifer on earlier this week. It is imperative, not just for the folks who live in Oklahoma City or the folks who live in Tulsa, to pick a candidate and support your candidate. And when I say support your candidate, I really mean even things just like driving them around while they door knock. If you don't feel confident in door knocking yourself, although it's pretty easy, door knock, drive them around while they're door knocking, have that cold water in that cold car. So that when they're popping in and out of the car, they can have some respite. Write postcards, do phone banks, donate. Let's put his link back up there. Donate. He's going to need your help. It's a little harder knocking doors when you're in a rural community because the doors aren't as close as they are in the city. And so it takes a lot more gas and a lot more effort. They have to buy a whole lot more big signs to get the message out that they're there. Donate. Share their social media. He's on Facebook. Share their social media. Help them. Get a car full of folks to drive over Muskogee and take care of a whole neighborhood. Help him out. We've got to expand our reach past Oklahoma City and Tulsa. Instead of my generic pick a candidate and support a candidate, I'm always going to say pick a candidate and support a candidate. I'm asking you to pick a candidate and support a candidate outside of Oklahoma City and Tulsa. Pick one weekend. Go to Norman. Go to Purcell. Go to Muskogee. Go to Coweta. Find a candidate outside of Tulsa. Help the candidates inside Tulsa and Oklahoma City, but help the candidates outside, because that's the only way we're going to change what is happening. That is the only way we're going to crack into rural Oklahoma and show those voters that we are actually the party that supports their values. We are the party who are looking out for the issues that face rural Oklahoma: clean water, broadband access, making sure that they still have access to public schools, because the other side is trying to tear down public schools. We're the party that's doing those things. And we need emissaries like Jimmy Haley in the legislature speaking up for those folks and not just getting in their clique. Thanks for joining me. I'll be joined tomorrow by Steve Jarman. Don't forget to donate to Jimmy Haley. Big news. The party is hosting a karaoke event in Oklahoma City on July 20th. It should be fun. Come out. It's inexpensive. It's $10 to get in, $60 for a table. It's a great way to support the party and fellowship with other Democrats. That's July 20th, Oklahoma City in VZD on Western. Hope to see you there. You're going to hear about it more until July 20th, because it's a big event that's coming. Donate to Jimmy. Come back tomorrow, hear about Steve Jarman, and you guys have a great evening.